An ancient wisdom story says that a master gathered his disciples around him one early morning while it was still dark and put an important question to them. When is it that you know for sure that the night has ended and the day is beginning? Could it be when you see an animal at a distance and can tell whether it is a sheep or a dog? One disciple queried. No, said the master. Could it be when you look at a tree from far and can say if it is a fig tree or a peach tree? Asked another disciple. No, was the answer of the master. There were a few more guesses, all of them wrong, until one of the disciples demanded, well then, master, what is the real answer? It is when you can look at the face of any man or woman and say, this is my brother and this is my sister. Because if you cannot do this, no matter what time of the day it is still night for you. As we heard in the gospel reading, the Easter story begins very early in the morning of the first day of the week when it is still dark. The metaphor of the contrast between light and darkness is a powerful theme in the Gospel of John. Bad things happen in the night and good things occur in the light. During the Last Supper, when Judas, the traitor, went out to complete his act of betrayal, it was night. And it is dawn when Jesus rises to new life. Easter is an invitation for us to come out of darkness into the light of the risen Lord. John expresses it in the most practical sense. In the first letter, the darkness is passing away and the true light is already shining. Therefore, whoever says, I'm in the light, while hating a brother or sister, is still in darkness. The resurrection of Christ is about a new vision and a new way of seeing the world around us. The gospel tells us that it was not easy for the disciples of Jesus to capture that new vision on the morning of his resurrection. Neither is it easy for us today. The Easter story begins for the disciples around the tomb while it was still dark. Mary Magdalene, whom the disciples had written off as a lost case, comes to the tomb and sees that this tombstone had been rolled away. But she doesn't see the truth. She finds it easier to believe that it is the work of some nighttime robbers and not the mighty work of God over death. When the two apostles, Peter and John, hear of the news, they take off as fast as they can. It is John, the younger one, who runs faster and reaches the tomb first. He looks inside and sees the cloths lying on the ground, but waits for Peter. Peter goes in first and sees the cloths that had covered the body of Jesus. But the climax of the story is that John, who entered second, sees more than the linen lying on the ground. He, unlike Peter, believes that the Lord is risen. John is the disciple whom Jesus loved, and love enables him to see through the dark. In the gospel, we can see a contrast between the primacy of authority and the primacy of love. Peter enjoys the primacy of authority, while it is John who enjoys the primacy of love. It takes nothing away from Peter, And John is very respectful of the role of Peter. That is why he waits for Peter to arrive before entering the tomb. At the lake of Tiberias, Peter receives the command, "Feed my sheep." But when Jesus stands unrecognized on the shore a little earlier, it is the beloved disciple who informs Peter, "It is the Lord." Love gives a new vision and the power of recognition. Peter had to learn later that in order to lead, he has to love. Authority is the service of love. Jesus says, "If you love, feed my sheep." If we continue to read the 20th chapter of the Gospel of John, we come across the scene of Mary Magdalene recognizing the risen Lord outside the tomb. Her eyes were clouded by tears, and she mistook the risen Jesus for the gardener. But when Jesus called her in love, "Mary," she put herself on her knees and responded, "Master." Recognition came for her when love was evoked. Easter experience has the same practical lesson for each one of us this morning. Love clears our vision and enables us to see through the dark. That is why the question of the master in the story narrated in the beginning has a very special significance. When we can look at the face of our brothers and sisters and see something extraordinary, the night is gone and the day is on its way back. There is a glimpse of the risen Christ on the face of everyone we live with, in our family and in our neighborhood. Love that is risen from the tomb enables us to see God differently and people differently. More than a gift, it is a challenge. If we cannot recognize people as our own kin, no matter what time of the day it is still dark for us. Resurrection, unfortunately, will be still very far away from us. Happy Easter. God bless you.